wonderful surprise for you.
We're going to release the third part of Patrick and Sam's special occasion. Yeah! Alright. Welcome back to the podcast.
So cool.
Patrick Bonnick. Can we get a cheers tone in this one?
No one cares.
And then Sam Langley. I'm talking about post.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah. Indeed.
Drinking the water that Kraken lives in.
And I think that the first thing that we should start off with is let's randomize things up a little bit and stuff. What do you say everyone gets a trucker name?
Trucker names. All right.
Already got one.
Alright. Sam, we're going to start you off with that because you already have one.
Wait. I want to add a stipulation. You have to pick this trucker name for the person to your left.
Okay.
Random.
All I was going with that is I had a CB radio in my truck and I had a handle. I actually have a handle.
Well, it looks like Alex has a handle.
It looks like you're bummed out there.
No, so well, it just means I have to come up
Keeping
with
everything
something
fresh.
else.
So who's starting
fresh.
this?
I say we can do that.
All right, who wants to start?
I'll start.
Okay,
Go on.
Patrick will start.
Wes is now known as Wesley Mudflaps.
Alright,
Wesley Mudflaps. All right.
I'm going to give Sam White Power Hank.
Oh, okay then. Say,
So I'm glad you started.
it's Breezy Willow.
Breezy Willow.
Breezy Willow.
And what is Patrick's?
Paddles. He's the guy with
Winner.
the paddles. She's the guy with the
Winner.
paddle ship.
Alright, so we've got Paddles. Mine was
Wesley Mudflaps.
Wesley Mudflaps. White Power Hank. And Willow, or what was it?
Something Willow. Breezy Willow.
Breezy Willow. Breezy Willow. Okay, cool.
Breezy Willow.
So that's our names for this podcast. If you can keep up, make them all hashtags, especially White Power Hank, because it's hilarious.
Say if you were following Kraken in the morning, follow hashtag what's crackin' a whackin'.
What's crackin' a lackin'?
Yeah, in all reality, what's cracking a lacking? Because that's what's going on right now. What's cracking a lacking?
All right, so with the theme of truckers that we've started off on and stuff like that, obviously what goes along really great with truckers is country western music, and that means I have a story.
Oh, God. Please, what is this country western?
Welcome to this country western fantasy. So there was one time when I was at work, and as we've heard from the podcast, occasionally I like to mess with people at work because it is the one thing that keeps me sane. So there was, at work a lot of times we like to play a lot of hip-hop music, something upbeat, sometimes dance and stuff like that. But we were playing something dancey or something that people could really hang out at night with. And there was this group of girls that was really frustrating me because they just kept being really picky and bitchy. And they were enjoying the hip-hop music that was playing. I think we were playing Migos at the time. And since they were annoying me, I said, those guys are having too good of a time. I should probably switch to something. So I decided to switch it to what I called Operation Willie Nelson. But the divergence on Operation Willie Nelson was I just played nothing but Merle Haggard. So I go up to the front, and not 20 seconds after I changed it to, I think I changed it to Mama Tried.
Oh.
And
Did
so
she though? Oh my God.
20 seconds into Mama Tried, this group of girls runs up, and they're just like, why did you switch the music? And all I could think about doing was lying to them. And so what I said was, well, there was a lot of people that were complaining about how it was too loud and they couldn't have conversation, so I switched it to something a little bit more relaxed. And they said, well, couldn't you have switched it to something like R&B? And I just looked at them because I knew I could play the racist card if they say anything, and they're like, I just looked at them and go, well, what's wrong with this? And they couldn't say anything.
Of course they could.
And then after that, after playing Merle Haggard for 3 songs, they finally came up to Cassie and said, they started complaining about how they liked Cassie more than they liked me. And it just made me more and more filled with happiness.
You're just the happiest.
So I just got more and more giddy as I worked that night. Because
You were just the belle at the ball.
I was. It was hilarious. And so with country music, all you need to do is occasionally when you want to piss people off, play Operation Willie Nelson.
which has nothing to do with.
So what I'm getting is a supervillain whose main motivation is to subvert the wants of patronage.
Right. He is the anti-hero.
Say we take a look at what they're wearing, we immediately convert the complete opposite of what they're wearing into music.
Captain West Potts.
Captain West Potts.
So, if you want a what would be the word? Not necessarily follows the mold country singer, though he is at the same time one of the most country of singers. You have good old Jerry Reed, whose country music had a bit of a honky-tonk twang to it before its time, to the point where Elvis actually wanted to do a cover of one of his songs.
Right.
Funny, funky, whatever, a little guitar picking man.
Can I talk
And
about that
his
phrase
guitar.
you just said for a second? I really think it's funny.
That's the name of a song!
No. You said it had a honky-tonk twang to it before its time. So did it have a honky-tonk twang before it was written?
Yes.
He wrote it in that way. To give you an idea of it, he was the only one that could play that song because he created the tuning for the guitar to play it on.
Ah.
Say he had a completely different way of tuning the guitar, and nobody else really knew how to play the guitar tuned the way he had it.
Interesting.
So Elvis did a cover of it.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Reed's playing the guitar because he's the only one that could. They called him up and said, "We love the song, we tried, but we can't do it." So I'll do it for you. So he came in and played the song. It's also the guy who wrote 6 out of the 10 songs that he wrote for Smokey and the Bandit in 6 minutes.
To all you guitar nerds out there, put a link to the tab you think most accurately represents the tuning of the song Sam has aforementioned.
except for putting the tuning of the song that Sam mentioned.
Leave out the tuning.
You gotta think of a new one out there.
Yeah, right.
Say he was unconventional was the word I was looking for earlier, because some of the songs he came up with have just some fantastic, wonderfully 70s names, like "She Got the Gold Mine, I Got the Shaft." He has an entire spoken word poetry song to country music that he's playing called "Another Puff," about trying to quit smoking.
So I'm sure
It's hilarious.
I think I heard the same thing, but I thought that was by Lil Yachty.
I ain't done a parody of it, but yeah, no, Jerry, another puff, and I just said
I don't know if I've ever talked about Drew, but he's the general manager of the shop we used to all work at. And if you know anything about Drew, he is a very educated man. Like, if you think of what the idea of a sophisticated man would be, he likes exotic and weird foods, he likes classical music, he's generally dresses pretty fancy and stuff like that.
very well rounded.
And let me just put this out there. Whenever he tells his daughter that he loves her, he doesn't just say he loves her. He tells her, "I love you more than the known universe." Which to me is just kind of speaking to what he wants his daughter to understand and what he teaches her. He teaches her that the known universe is the biggest thing that we can think of. And she's a young girl, and she understands that concept, and he says, "I love you more than that." He's not only a smart dad, but a very loving dad, and so he's not only sophisticated, but also extremely human and just a wonderful person.
But also mostly, the idea for me comes from this story of one time me and Drew went on a business trip, and we were driving back in the car, and all of a sudden he just turns to me as if it was in a Coen Brothers film, and he goes, "Have you ever listened to much of Conway Twitty?" And with that statement, he goes, "Let me show you something that I used to sing to my ex-girlfriend." And I go, "Okay." He starts playing Linda on My Mind. And if you've ever heard the story of Linda on My Mind, or if you've ever heard the song Linda on My Mind, it's a song about a man who keeps dreaming about his girlfriend's best friend. And he said he used to sit there in bed with her and sing this song while his girlfriend was in the bed with him, who just had his daughter, and it's hilarious to me. It's this idea that, it's not to make Drew sound like a bad person. It's more of the idea to me that it's hilarious that this man had this weird air of himself, but he just knew this country western song, and he would just hum it. And she never figured out what the song was. He would just hum it because that's exactly the thought process he had. Is he was unhappy with that relationship and stuff like that. It's just hilarious to me that and that's a country western thing that I'm just like, wow. Every country western song is just filled with regrets and sadness. It's the idea of finding yourself at the bottom of a bottle.
Mm-hmm. If you want to have a fun little journey down that path, I'll go back to Jerry Reed for just a second. There's a song called Amos Moses. Amos Moses was a man of the cloth. So he was a priest in Louisiana who beat the shit out of alligators on a daily basis. It's a song about a priest who's just a badass in the swamps of Louisiana.
That guy sounds like a dope guy.
This song's about Amos Moses. He beat alligators with a stake. It's like, oh, well, okay then. And then you find out Amos Moses was a man of the cloth. It's like, what? This is a song about a priest? So, tell your brother he needs to aspire to be
Amos Moses.
Yeah.
And Friar Tuck.
Yes.
He's been doing well at being Friar
He'll be
Tuck.
Friar Moses.
Friar Moses. Alright. Since it is the third episode, we've got Patrick's Weird Stories, episode 4.
Fourth can of worms.
What can of worms? God, I hate you guys. Fuck.
You've told me so many weird stories in your life. I can't believe you can't think of one right now.
Mention a keyword. I'll think of something.
Stripper roommate.
Roommates might listen to this, so I don't want to go into that field.
Alright. Hippie.
That's also a roommate.
That's like half of your roommates.
How about okay.
Drunkenness. It can involve your roommates, but those ones won't care. Don't make me tell a story for you.
Crying over cartoons.
Crying over cartoons. We'll go with that.
The cartoons you cry over.
Okay, are we all gonna do this? Is this a game that we're playing?
Yeah, let's do a game.
Everyone
I'll
just
start with.
Try to subtly mention a story that Patrick should know and see if he gets it.
Man, this really is a can of worms.
Actually, how about we do a twist on the can of worms thing? Everyone just tells an embarrassing story that they know about me, and they just be quiet in the corner.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Just
you're gonna sit quiet in the corner. Or are you gonna cry? Anyway, that's the goal.
I don't know. A twist sounds a lot like opening it.
I don't know if it's gonna be.
I think he's passing off the bill.
I don't know if it's going to embarrass Patrick that much if I say this story, because it's probably not. But I can remember the first time I ever met Patrick. I was working at the shop that I'm working at now, and he was a patron of said establishment. And I just remember looking at him and thinking he was the weirdest concoction of a man that I've ever seen in my life. In fact, he gave me very weird vibes at first. He scared the shit out of me. Because he was this man that's a giant. He's like 6-something tall, doesn't matter. But he would just sit there quietly. Hours on end, never saying a word. And, he had a very military-esque, you know the cut where it's, very close to the head and it's just shaved off on the top to where he kind of looks like he's trying to be hip-hop, but he's not.
Yeah,
right, the high and tight. The typical Marine haircut. He was a Marine. He was wicked Catholic. He would say the most off-kilter things occasionally when he did talk. The thing that made me terrified about Patrick was you wouldn't ever hear him say anything until he laughed and told a story about murder. And then the next thing you knew, you go, this guy is an odd fellow. And I don't know what changed my opinion on him. I can't necessarily recollect that. But I do remember there was a point for me going, I think this guy might murder me. to going, this guy's fucking hilarious.
Now be true to yourself, Wes. Has your opinion really changed that much?
I mean, he still has all of those necessary qualities.
You'll laugh when he does it.
I do have the concept of making sure that Patrick never tells me any of his dreams after he's had them after a few days. Because he will go, so I had another dream the other day, and I go, Patrick, what did we talk about? You're not going to tell me about your dreams. Because his dreams are terrifying.
Patrick.
My dreams are the average person's nightmare.
Yeah, no, they're the more than average person nightmare. They're the sociopath's nightmare, I'm pretty sure. You had a dream about making tacos out of people's faces, not
and
to embarrass. Okay, you added to this, as you can see from my recollection of my story.
What I would like to point out, though, is Patrick, Wes is your god, so therefore your dreams are messages from Wes.
That's true. Also, I forgot to mention that when you said when I started to think Patrick's hilarious. I think Wes got that when he mentioned he was a dark god, and I said I would become his pope.
That's true.
And thus
something weird was born.
Patrick, has anyone ever told you that you are almost exactly like Stephen Hawking if he could talk but still type into the computer?
No,
because I feel like you're like every bit as smart as him, but you just choose to speak through the computer most of the time.
Holy crap, Alex! I had a moment. Actually, Patrick, I had a moment just like this, like 3 days ago. Whenever I was at work. Somebody I had never talked to while at work. We were out on the back smoking a cigarette, having a good time, not working. And she just looks at me all of a sudden and goes, you know what? You remind me from Booger. Y'all seen that movie, Nerds, or Revenge of the Nerds? Y'all seen that?
How old is this woman?
Booger. Oh, probably in her 40s.
Okay, so she's right about the time for that to be still in her mind. Culture.
So she's like, you look like Booger. And I'm like, okay, it's been too long since I've seen that movie. I kind of remember Booger, but I don't know exact. Okay, let me just... Booger, Nerds.
For those of you who don't know, he looks exactly like Booger.
Yeah, he's like...
And for those of you who don't know who Booger is, some bitch is Metatron.
Just look him up on the internet.
I say he's hard to forget. Once I saw him, I'm like, how did I forget that's who that was? Like, I started watching Supernatural because we had a trade-off, me and my husband. He got me into Supernatural. Like, I watched every episode, Can
I guess what you got him into? Was it Doctor Who?
It was exactly
what
I got him into. I made him watch it from start to finish, and we've been Whovians, and I don't even know what the fans are called for Supernatural. Like, they have to have some kind of pet.
They're called Cassie Loveland.
Dear God. But yeah, Booger from Revenge of the Nerds is the same actor that plays Metatron, the weird scribe of God in Supernatural. And it was just like, I hope I don't look like Metatron whenever I get to his age. Shit.
Anyway, what's your favorite story of Patrick? He's sitting still quietly in the corner.
Well, since I haven't yet lived it down that I have outed myself in the first part of this extravaganza, my favorite part is I started working with these fellows actually right after Alex and came in afterwards as they lovingly called Pit Bitch. I was Pit Bitch for a good long while there and worked with Patrick for quite a while, and he would come up to me with just the most interesting suppositions, just what-if statements, just, what if someone came up to you, as you all discovered in, what was it, part 2 or part 1, what happens if someone comes and asks you if they want to suck your dick or something? What exactly, how do you go about doing that? Like, I have people that ask me that, it's weird, I don't know what to think about this. And it's just the strangest thing in the world. It was just, I knew Patrick before we worked together, but since we were in a close encounters, we found we both loved fairy tale. Mm-hmm. It sounds just as gay as possibly can be, and well, it's fantastic. So
it's not so weird for you.
Yeah, right. It fits the bill. But it was just the situations that Patrick would bring up to me as a gay man, randomly. I would be like, how are you in this? What happened to cause this particular situation? So that was just a wonderful little bit there. I became a portal for his homoerotic situations that you would find only in porn that he happened to be in, that he just peace.
To be fair, I did remember one time whenever we were hanging out when you used to kind of live at my house occasionally. I did remember one time setting you down and for 4 hours having you describe every subculture of like the gay community to me.
Oh yeah, no, I remember exactly how you opened that.
Yeah, it also just made me look way more gay when I knew what people were talking about. Like, because people would be like,
you had an education.
Yeah,
so
they'd be like, okay, how do you know what an otter is if you're not gay?
Most people don't sit down and have a conversation
because they'd be like, there'd be gay men and they'd be like, oh yeah, he's an otter. I'm like, oh, I get what that is. And they're like, how do you know that, Mr. Straight Man?
Because most people know about the typical gay term, you know. There's the bears, and there's the twinks. Those are the most well-known gay terms for, like, it's not just body type, but it's personality as well. It gets really meta whenever you actually get into the stereotypes that things bring up. So you've got bear and twink. Those are the ones that people most know. But you brought up otter. Then there's the silver fox, which you can kind of
I think that one was after I asked you. That one was invented after I asked you, I feel like. Because I never learned
That's actually an older one, actually.
I mean, like, I know that silver fox is like, what, like George Clooney? Is that what that would be like? Okay, so, like, that's just a general term, I feel like, if you're, like, a gray guy.
Well, if you want.
Like, it's like George Clooney's not gay at all, but they're like, oh my god, he's such a silver fox.
Okay, well,
like,
not all silver foxes are chicken hawks, but all chicken hawks are silver foxes.
I don't know what a chicken hawk is.
You know, okay, this is starting to sound roughly familiar to like the same conversation, like when you're trying to explain to somebody the different metal genres.
Yeah, death, black,
goth. Like, I don't understand the difference between hardcore and deathcore, and it's just like, well, really, it's just it doesn't matter. It's all metal.
It doesn't matter. It's a style. It's a flair.
Now I'm gonna go with silver fox is not just a gay term.
Yeah, no, I'll go with it.
Like,
say to explain what chicken hawks actually
that
are.
That one is a gay term, I'm pretty sure. That sounds gay.
Say chicken hawks are hawks that swoop down and steal chicks. Say they're
girls?
No,
okay.
As an actual fucking
I thought it was like a bisexual term where like they jump down and occasionally will like fuck one of your girlfriends and be like, I'm gay, I'll leave.
I'm talking about the actual animal.
Awful.
The actual animal, the chicken hawk. It's a hawk, you know, a bird of prey, a hawk. That their main source of prey are baby chickens.
Right,
chicks. Okay. So they swoop down and boop. And that's why, here we go getting meta. Foghorn Leghorn, he's a big old chicken from the south. Oh, I say.
Right.
And his biggest enemy that gives him a bunch of shit, that little bitty chicken hawk. I'm a chicken hawk and I'm gonna get you. That's why that's funny.
Okay.
Exactly. But they call them chicken hawks in the gay community because they're silver foxes who only go for like
younger
18
dudes.
to 21, hopefully.
I see.
Yeah.
Because then they have another term if they're younger. Pedo.
Pedophiles.
Yeah. Everybody has that.
Yeah, that's also not just a gay term.
I just call
chicken
those
hawk would be
loop.
the gay term for like MILFs or things like that. Yeah, they're the ones that swoop in and date younger guys.
The gay
Sugar daddies.
Gay cougar.
There you go. So yeah, Wes had a fantastic education.
I had a really good gay education.
And it only
having
made
a
his
gay
life
dad.
worse because they're like, oh, you have to be gay if you know this. Just have to be.
If my youth wasn't confusing enough, we're
between
like
me and Cameron, we got
between
you right.
between all of like the league of drag queens that I hung out when I was like
Mother
younger. My life looked like it was going to be really gay.
We were priming you to be a prima donna.
I know, and I failed. This is why I'm not.
Says the one gay guy you know that hasn't done drag, really.
Yeah, that's true.
There's one time in Singing in the Rain, but that doesn't count.
Alright, so we're at Alex's, like, if we can get the rewind noise.
I don't have any more.
Zoom, 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 zoom! Alex's story about Patrick, because he's still crying in the corner.
Not true. For our listeners.
Why did you ruin this for our listeners?
God damn it.
They can't see me. They don't know if I'm
Exactly.
crying or not.
So why did you ruin it?
Idiot. This is why we don't have
Crying would've
I
videos.
didn't ruin it. I could be like acting really serious.
Go
right
cry
now.
in the corner now.
God damn it.
Alright, bye.
So,
But,
I don't think I need to say much more than like
you can say whatever you want. He's gone now.
Patrick has a problem with mobility.
Yes?
Yeah. like, he wouldn't want to admit it to a lot of people, but he can't seem to keep a car working for more than like a week and a half. And so, how many cars have you had since I've known you in a couple of years?
2.
2. And how long have both of those worked combined?
A year and a half.
And how long have we known each other now?
About 3 years.
About 3 years. So about half the time I've known Patrick, he has had a car that functions. Explain.
That's true. This is an interactive term.
Actually, this could be a can of worms. So my first vehicle that I had.
Fourth can of worms.
Let's see. It was a Chrysler 300M 1999. I bought it in 2014. And in 2015, in August, I was at my parents' house. And I was driving back into town, and I come up to a stop sign, and the street I was on was north to south, and the street that I was at was an east and west road, and the sun was setting. So I looked to the east, there was no vehicles. I looked to the west, the sun was right in my eyes, and I thought there was no vehicle. So I start to pull out, and I hear a horn go off, and I hit the brake, and I T-bone a guy. And that's where my first car went.
Alright, first car T-boned.
So,
to the sun god.
After that, I was without a vehicle for like 7 months. And then the summer of 2016, my family sold me a really terrible...
Oh, this is the van.
It was the Chevy Astro, a 1997 Chevy Astro with close to 300,000 miles on it. Thanks for the sad music. Oh God, it's really sad music.
What happened to the van, Patrick?
Yeah, what happened to the van, Patrick?
So anyway,
what happened?
My family sold it to me for $1, and they told me like the radiator is having problems. There's a crack in it. You have to put radiator fluid in it every week.
Oh jeez.
So,
here's your $1 vehicle. It owes $7 each week.
So I was doing that, and there was a day I drove a friend back to where, like, the town he was from, and halfway there, the radiator just started smoking, and there was smoke like plummeting out of the front of my vehicle. And
what did you do?
I pull into a bank's parking lot, open the hood, and the radiator cap's just shaking and then just blows off and sprays radiator fluid all over me.
Oh, he came in. I remember this because he came in with you remember when he came in with burns all over his fucking face?
Oh he looked like he got hit by a meteor shower.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was awful. He's just I was like, what happened to your face? You're like, burns from a radiator.
Oh my gosh.
So that's what happened to the second vehicle for the moment, because then I replaced the radiator. It worked fine, and then right before Thanksgiving of last year, the engine locked up while I was driving to work.
What did you do then?
I just pulled to the side
tried.
and just I just pulled to the side of the work, left it there, and went to work, and then
walked.
And then dealt with 2 different times that week. I had friends tell me that there's notes on the side of my cars from the cops saying, like, if this isn't moved by a certain date, we're gonna tow it. So I had to
who you are and charge you for it.
Kept like pushing my car a block closer to my house every day.
Nice.
Damn.
Until I got a friend to help me tow it the last 2 blocks to my house. And then I've been without a car since.
So that was the Patrick Memory Hour.
Patrick Memory Hour.
That was fantastic. So
Right.
journey.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the song, by the way. That made it great.
So I know how much you love fairy tales, so I'll give you a bit of urgency, a bit of hope.
I just want to hear Happy Yellow Eye, sir. That's all I want to hear right now.
Hi, sir. So when I met Sam, I was dating this one girl who had also dated one of my friends because I was a bad person and decided to date them right afterwards. But this was before that. This is when she was still dating him. Sam was into a production called Into the Woods. He was at his high school. The girl was at a high school. Also, I was in high school.
We were all
to make sure that I wasn't a pedophile, I was in high school. We were all in high school. I was dating this, or I was like hanging out with my friend who was dating this girl who eventually I dated. But I guess she told Sam about me. And I think Sam has it best when he takes over on this one.
Say Eleanor. That was... I had been friends with her for quite some time. So Eleanor and I, we were in band. We were just inseparable. It was really before I'd ever come out. So obviously I have to tell you about all of my boy problems. So even if they didn't know.
Wait, was I a boy problem at that time?
Not yet.
Just making sure that I got talked about and I wasn't a boy problem.
There was a theater boy that she was fucking head over heels over and never ever got over. But she and I, I was the fag to her fag hag at that point.
Right.
So Miss Eleanor and I, she meets this fellow. They start dating and everything. It's going swimmingly, and they arrange a double date. And me.
I wasn't there at that one.
No, I say that was the funny thing is the fellow brought one of our other friends, Nate, no relation, to other Nate.
Not the what's haunting one.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No relation, Nate. They brought him, so they basically brought 2 third wheels. So instead of having a third wheel, they had a third and a fourth wheel.
They had an all-terrain vehicle.
Yeah. So they got to do their thing, and they had 2 different people to break the ice at different times. To be honest, good idea for a date. Bringing along just some random, unthreatening person along to have just somebody to help break the ice and bring shit up. A wingman.
Anyway, I don't know how I'm involved in this.
Because you come directly afterwards.
I'm a narcissist.
I was about to say, that goes south. I don't remember who exactly, but whatever, doesn't matter. A week and a half later, here comes Eleanor and Leslie! But... While other guy and Wes are dating, Eleanor are dating, Wes comes to go see this production. All right, I have been told about him. He has been told about me. Hype through over this probably 3-month period.
Right.
He comes to go see the production, and Eleanor goes, "Oh, look, there's Wes." Or there's Sam, because I'm walking down the hallway from working the production.
Right.
And Wes goes, and I see him and I go, okay. And Wes just starts booking it, like $1 Million Man status, but not slow-mo, just just hands flat up in the air. He runs in and I go, okay. And he just jumps in the air and lands like a damsel in distress in my arms. Like, why hello there.
And we've been friends ever since.
I'm Wesley, and I am Sam. Nice to meet you. An inseparable sense.
I'm pretty sure that
to the point of, whenever the relationship went sour, remember, I was with Eleanor first, and then met Wes 2 boyfriends down the line. And whenever that went south, I realized, oh, she's just a shade or 3 is crazy. Jumped ship and became friends with Wes.
Right.
So, bros before hoes, proof in the pudding.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's pretty funny.
He jumped into my arms and
it's been to say, I think this is the only man that ever jumped into their arms.
And then I slept on his couch and cooked him breakfast.
Yeah, it was awesome. Makes this story sound way like.
I didn't take advantage of him, and I cooked him breakfast.
We had mutual respect.
Perfect gentleman.
That's how all of you should treat those ladies out there.
Take note, fellas. Take note.
That's right. If me and Sam can do it, you can do it to ladies.
Eddie Murphy had it right. And in the morning, I'm making Jameson waffles.
Alright, so me and Patrick have this game that we play at the Albatross every once in a while.
Right on.
And what I do is, since I have a girlfriend, and everyone I know pretty much has a girlfriend, Patrick doesn't, he's on Tinder. And so...
Unfortunately.
What I do is, in order to help Patrick find the greatest people that he can find on Tinder, I will analyze every girl that he matches with beforehand.
Ah, Tinder.
It's a fun game.
Let's do it.
All right, so
Let's do it.
are we starting with the ones that you've matched with, like that you're talking to, or you want to do the other ones?
Let's do talking to. The ones I'm not talking to, there's a reason behind that.
All right, we've got Maggie right up here, and let's look at Maggie's page.
Margaret.
Or Margaret, yeah. She says, "Hey, hi, hello, etc. Not sure what I'm looking for, but I guess we'll find out when we meet.
Okay, this is the Graham Norton show. I'm pulling the lever. Flip the couch.
MSU theater and stage manager, so keep your eyes out.
Well,
Ask me about it. Christian, 420 friendly, super fun to be around in the morning." So Sam, you want to help me analyze this one with you?
I still pull the lever. I swipe left.
You-
She's trying too hard.
She's just trying too hard. Let's see. She's cute. She's 24.
So it all
I
starts.
think I know this girl actually. I think she comes in the shop.
She does.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, I know this girl from somewhere. Like,
I've seen her before.
you got two friends in common, and how Christian is she? Let's be honest. Like,
Well, Christian
yeah.
and 420 friendly, so she's at least a liberal Christian.
Yeah.
right. She's also an MSU stage manager, so either I feel like one way or another, someone's gonna sacrifice something somewhere. So,
Sacrifice him to the sun god!
so don't just know. I don't know how well you've talked to her, but just
There may be sacrifice down the line. That's all we're saying, Patrick. If you think it's worth it, go for
Patrick,
it.
she's
But
not
there
a
may
stripper.
be
She's not a stripper.
sacrifice.
Don't go for her.
I know.
Yeah, you know what you like.
Her name's not.
We're gonna go with Ophelia now, and she's from Springfield because I just read your notes on it. Let's see.
He keeps the little black book for.
Just be yourself all the fucking time. Stoner psychedelics. So she's every roommate you've ever had.
Every room.
That's why I want to keep her at a distance.
I was gonna say that seems like it's gonna go well for you. Let's see. We've got Olive. Why do you keep dating girls with O names?
He has a type.
No, I don't want to look at urine. Okay.
Urine. What?
I am 24 and single, mother of 2. Love the outdoors, fishing, camping, hiking, and fun. This girl sounds nothing like what you would like. You don't like any of those things.
Do they have like usernames on Tinder?
No, they don't. They have.
It's just
they
a
have,
picture
like,
and
oh,
an
you
actual
see there,
name.
Olive.
Okay.
And then essentially a tweet about who you are.
Yeah,
it's-
pretty much.
She also really likes Eminem and Beyonce in the song together called "Walk on Water." That's her anthem.
I hate both of them.
There's a Tinder, which I love because you
But you know how I do Tinder. Most of the time I'm just like
bullshit.
bullshitting and...
Well, Tinder came around after the fact from a little app on the gay side of things because, well, I mean, if you're going to do it, go sexy. It's called Grindr. But you have usernames. Instead of having, like, real names, the whole community, it's all usernames.
So you can be anonymous.
You can be, but you have pictures just like Tinder. And
So
have
you know
a
if you
little
want to
bio.
like
so
be
you
sweet
know if you
on them.
want if you want to smash.
Yeah, if you want to be sweet on them.
So, just to read the first 3 names that I see here for usernames here. Nice, fun, bottom. Good sex, anyone. And head for you.
Wait, what's his username?
Those are all 3 usernames.
What? You
Those are
can
the
pick
first-
multiple usernames?
Those are the first 3 usernames.
So it's
of people
basically
I
just
see.
like what you like to do.
Yeah, no, you can change your username at any time.
Oh.
So yeah,
Does it tell you all the old usernames, or is it just
No,
like what they
it's
go
just
by?
what's
That's better than
recent.
Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Right? So then they got chill ? Bottom, devilish face.
Ooh, devilish face.
Water droplets, like,
And
and a pig emoji.
because he's big.
If you really want to know what those emojis
No, we don't
come
want to.
together,
You can tell me after the show.
We don't need
Like,
if you really want to delve into the
not yet.
dark,
Like,
the dark.
we'll save it for another episode.
Oh, here's a good one. Man pleaser.
Ooh.
Let's get it.
Gravity Falls reference.
Oh, here, thick woody.
Is he looking for a buzz? Thick Woody here looking for my Buzz Lightyear to send me off into the astral projections.
I want him to send me to the moon with his rocket. And then you've got Harry Moe.
That's the guy's name?
That's the guy's name is Harry Moe.
Harry Moe.
I'm like, well, okay, so...
Well, I got my cousins.
Nice to meet you, Moe.
Harry Randy and Harry Ed. And I reckon you're going to come over to our hunting lodge and...
Pay no mind to Aunt Harry Hilda.
See what's up. Just a good old boy who likes, keeping it real. Y'all like hunting and drinking beer, I'm your man.
Shucks.
Shit, we'll go gigging afterwards.
Alright, say gigging, and say there's gigging, there's noodling. And then the town that I spent my formative years, aka, just like junior high school in, there was suckering.
These are all also like fishing terms and not gay terms.
These are all fishing terms.
These are all fishing terms. They sound gay, but they're fishing terms.
But they're fishing, which is
Okay,
say
change universe.
Change universe. You got gigging.
Gigging. Noodling.
Noodling, which you've probably seen on the History Channel. It's anything but history.
Also, nothing with noodles.
It's basically sticking your fist into a hole in a mud bank
sounds gay.
And hoping to God that it's a catfish and not something that's going to bite your arm off. Because the catfish will go and bite your hand and just latch onto your wrist. Mm-hmm. And that's when you
what's the one that your town specializes in?
Suckering. Say we have a town festival once a year called Sucker Days. And it's the sucker fish.
Right.
It's a fish that sticks around in shallow pools and just sticks there and just hangs around, and that's all they do. And the way you catch them, since they don't have a large mouth that you can actually, here's some bait and get them, you get one of the biggest freaking hooks that you can fish with without being in the ocean. Yeah. Say it's, put your thumb out like a check mark and you've got the hook.
Okay.
And it's painted white, bright orange, just some really, eccentric color that you can see in whatever color water you've got.
Right on.
And you cast it into your sucker pool because most of our banks are gravel, so you can just make a shallow pool.
Right.
And sucker fish will come to it.
Gotcha.
So you cast your rod into the pool, and as soon as you don't see your hook anymore, you sucker him in the gut.
I gotcha.
So it is not the nicest thing in the world.
Of course not.
Because it's this nasty, gnarly, giant hook the size of your pointer finger and your thumb, and you just paint it bright, and as soon as you don't see it anymore, there's a fish over it! And you pull up, and you sucker it in the gut, and you've got fish.
I'm not gonna lie, that whole explanation just sounded really gay.
Same with noodling. I mean,
no, I get it, yeah.
Is that why they call a sucker punch? Because it's like in the stomach?
I don't know
and
which came first.
And when they're not expecting it?
I'm not sure which came first.
The chicken or the egg.
The
chicken or the egg
punch.
situation,
So you caught the fish by suckering it in the gut, or you suckered somebody in the gut like you caught the fish.
Mm-hmm. That's so weird.
Anyway, I'm going to give this moment to let Patrick and Sam pitch anything that they want to at the moment. Patrick, Sam, what are you guys up to recently? You want anything to pitch? You got any projects you're working on or anything like that? Something you want people to know about? Patrick's single. That's what he wants you to know about.
Yeah, that's fun pitching.
Say, I guess I could take my little bit here to just give a shout out. There's only one ever project that I've done that's actually public, really, and that's Nintendo Bachelorette. Say, there's some good old boys here who do some video sketches that are really quite funny, and they're Nintendo based. Really funny. They did one for Left 4 Dead whenever they came out for the Wii. They did some what if Shell from Portal met up with Boardman from Half-Life.
Okay.
Because they're non-speaking protagonists, so they go on a date.
That's funny.
They do a lot of fun stuff like that, but I played Mario in one of their videos, so I'll just give a shout out to them.
Nintendo Bachelorette. Find it on YouTube?
Yep, find that video.
Find it on YouTube.
I say it's a lot of fun. It's between Donkey Kong, kind of, Mario, and Link from Legend of Zelda trying to get to the girl.
If you're really interested in that, we'll make sure to put a link in the description for you.
Alex, do you have anything you want to pitch?
Yeah, I just started another podcast, so if you really enjoy, at least listening to me talk, I got another one where me and my girlfriend kind of just get together and just talk about different things we like. We try to stay on more like single topics per episodes and be a little more focused, so we got that going on. That's the ThoughCraft Cast. I'll also link that here in the video description. It's also on YouTube, so you can see that there. And then, of course, I also am doing all the audio for this with CK Productions. So, as per usual, you're probably seeing this because of CK Productions.
And Alex is also involved in a lot of my projects. And the project that I'm going to pitch on this episode is going to be What's Haunting Wes and Nate Season 2. Should be out soon. Alex is the main person that's working on that. He did all our music and everything. He's fantastic to have around and stuff like that. So, join us for Season 2 of some more paranormal reenactment bullshit. And it's going to be hilarious. This one we're actually really proud of. So, check us out on that.
Yeah, well, thanks again for joining us, everybody. I think this was a fun time.
Yeah, welcome to What's Haunting the Kraken.
What's Haunting
God damn it, I do this every time. I need to stop making podcasts with W's. Fuck it. Like, welcome to Waking the Kraken. And I'm Wes Potts.
I'm Alex Kamen.
We'll see you guys later.
See you later.
Bye.